What's up, 𝐏𝐫𝐢𝐬 here. Welcome back to my Halo 2 Anniversary LASO guide. This video will be dedicated to Mission 10, Gravemind. So we've finally made it. The hardest mission in all of Halo. Probably the hardest FPS mission ever made, to be honest. Especially on LASO. I'm going to attempt to help you through this hellish mission that definitely lives up to its name, to the best of my ability. About halfway through the level, we're going to be doing a glitch that puts the Oracle pressure launch to shame. It skips the hardest part of the game, so I would call it mandatory, but if you want to do that part legitimately, just for a warning, you might soft lock the game. The skip is also hard, but I'll walk you through it when we get there. So for everyone who's crazy enough to do this alongside me, let's go. As soon as the level starts, back up, try to avoid all the gunfire, hit that left brute as hard as you can with the needler. You can keep restarting there if you need to. Obviously it's the beginning of the mission. Grab one of these plasma rifles, and I'll show you a little trick you can do with these brutes that are berserking. As you see in there, you can dodge their charge attack, and if you're fast enough, turn around and backsmack them. That's very efficient. You can always kill them normally if you're too, scared to try that. I don't blame you, honestly, because if you fail, you're basically getting a ton of bricks plowed into your face and you instantly die, so it is risky. As you seen there, I grabbed both plasma rifles, shot a grunt till he was low health, beat him down, so I survived his barrage of plasma pistol bolts, and smacked all the rest of these guys. After you kill every enemy, you want to run over to this pillar and line up that middle light the same exact way I'm doing it right now. So you'll see sort of like a quarter of the left hand light sticking out and the entire right hand side. You want to do this in classic graphics because it's much harder to see in the anniversary graphics. And as long as you stand in this exact position, you should skip about 2 waves of enemies. You'll know you did the trick right when you hear the elevator activate behind you. That means the next wave and the captain spawned. So kill this grunt as fast as you can, then jump up here. Generally, you'd want to have dual needlers up here if you were doing like a normal speed run of this, but it's fine. Just go up here and try to stick these guys with plasma grenades. I know this is kind of a not definitive strat. You got to be pretty decent at sticking, so it's relatively close to the beginning of the level, so it's not too bad if you fail. And yeah, all you have to do is stick 2 brutes, and the last guy should go into rage mode, which should give you some wiggle room to kill those grunts. I usually like to kill 1 or 2 of these guys with the brute plasma rifle, and then head down there. Once there's about 2 enemies left, there's going to be some carbine guys that randomly spawn up top. They can be both on either side or one and the other. I got one guy on this side, one guy on the other side, so I mean that's kind of unlucky, but I had overshield, so it wasn't too bad. Took these guys out, and I got really lucky with a just enough needles in that guy. I'm pretty sure if there was any less needles he would not have super combined, so I'm grateful for that. And then I try to gather this carbine ammo here before we do the same strat, the same despawn strat for the next 2 waves. Gonna try to line ourselves up and kill that final raging brute down below.
Put me down on one of the pedestals near the door.
So once you hear Cortana say that, you did the despawn correctly. That despawn is a lot easier to do nowadays because it's in the center of the room. Before, it used to be on the side of the room in one of those doors, which was super annoying because you had to do it so fast. There's a couple of grunts that come to investigate the massacre here, so I like to hide up top on this doorway, let them sort of pass by. Since the awareness skull is on, they notice you. They usually don't, actually, if you're standing up here. But they're close enough at this point where you can just smack them to death. I like to toss grenades and carbine in this room, basic combat essentially. You can actually jump up top. I'll show it in a second, but you can jump up, crouch jump on this ledge that I'm kind of looking at here. And yeah, that gives you a pretty good cover space in terms of, you know, throwing grenades and headshotting the brutes over there. Yeah, there you go. So, crouch jump up here. And I don't have any ammo left, but yeah, this is a good place to go to shoot these guys, and they can't really shoot you that much back as long as you're like crouching here. As you may notice, I'm not being very stingy with my plasma grenades. That's because there's plasma grenades everywhere in this mission, especially with the catch skull on. There's just every enemy's going to drop at least one plasma grenade, so you have tons to spare. Might as well use them, especially on brutes too, because they're not like elites. They actually die from a single plasma grenade stick. So yeah, they're really useful on this level.
Wait.
So I make that kind of look easy, but it does take a little bit of practice if you want to do it consistently. And once you got it nailed down, it's all upsides and no downsides, besides the fact that you can screw it up. And, you know, just don't screw it up. That's basically what LASO is anyways. But if you want to kill them the easy way, the good old-fashioned way, obviously, just hit them with a plasma grenade or a needler, or headshot them. It's a little bit more difficult to headshot them because their head hitbox is tiny, but you know, safer than doing that backsmack thing, I guess. And the upsides of doing the ninja backsmack is basically, you know, black eyes on, so you get shields and you don't waste grenades or ammo. But if they ever patch save quit, I would probably not do that as much because it's fairly risky. You'd have to be pretty ballsy to try that move at the end of this level or something. I would not want to get hit by that in real life. That'd be like getting hit by a train. And if you do not have overshield, it is definitive one-shot kill. So try to headshot these guys with carbine. It is pretty difficult because the carbine is super inaccurate and their head boxes are tiny, like I mentioned. So yeah, once the reinforcements show up, let them set up their turrets and equipment, because you want as many destructible objects in this area as physically possible. The brute captain will generally stay in the middle, so I like to shoot him in the head first. It takes 2 hits in the head to kill a brute because they have that little head cap on that protects their head from a single shot. And as you can see here, for once in the entirety of Halo 2 LASO, I am using a plasma pistol. That's right, everybody. Hold your applause, hold your applause. We're not finished yet. To take out a jackal's shield. Who would have thought? Because these jackals are super annoying to kill with the carbine. They don't flinch, like, at all because of that skull, because of the ghost skull. So I take his shield out right there. He generally hides behind there and sticks his head out, so I headshot him there. That's like the only time I'll ever use a plasma pistol in like the entire game, so not seeing that again. And then finish off the rest of this area by killing these brutes with backsmacks mainly. taking on one enemy at a time as if every enemy was a boss. That's kind of how you have to go about this. And there's carbine ammo to the left here, and there's carbine ammo also in the back right hand corner where we're staring. What I like to do after I killed all the enemies in this area is destroy one of these plasma turrets, and then 2 of those floating destroyable things. That should give you overshield. Basically 3 things will give you overshield. And then we're going to jump down to the right hand side here. We don't want to take the gravity lift because we're going to want to use it to go back up to this area and destroy some things to get overshield before the big trick, which is at the prison. Or the prison gravity lift, I should say, to be more accurate. And the game gives you like a one-time up or down on that lift, so yeah, just leave it alone. Leave the lift alone and go down the right or the left-hand side of this object here to land here. And try to snipe all these guys down here with your carbine. Make sure everyone's dead here. I go back for a grunt. Thought he was dead, but nope. Had some suspicions that he was alive, and he was. Good thing I killed him. And make sure you grab a brute shot at this point. There should be one around this area. Even if you don't get a brute shot here, there should be one down in the tunnels, so it's not that big of a deal.
Slay the demon on sight!
They're beefing up their patrols. Stay sharp.
You want to have a brute shot before the big lift. Everyone here knows what I'm talking about, I'm pretty sure. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know why you're here, but hey, maybe this is your first time viewing a Halo video. If so, welcome, welcome. Picked a very strange video to watch. This is the hardest mission ever. It sucks, and you're about to see one of the hardest tricks of all time in a couple minutes, so stay tuned for that. Deal with these guys as you usually would. Headshots, grenades, ninja backsmacks, you know, the usual. Don't charge into this room because there's a couple jackals that ambush you from either door. You want to stick back here, wait for them to spawn. Alright, put your pants back on, everyone, because here's the big trick. Don't go near that door, first of all, because there's a definitive checkpoint you're going to get if you go near that door. You want to save that for after you get full overshields. You don't want to get that checkpoint before you go all the way back to the lift to get your overshield, because you'll have to do a 2-minute walk every single time you die. If you do that to yourself, trust me, it's not good for your sanity. I know. So yeah, go up the lift here. That's why we didn't use it. Take out your brute shot, destroy 4 of those floating things. That should definitely give you full overshield. Just to make 100% sure. Go on this turret. Yep, I got overshields. Destroy the turret for good luck. You don't have to do that, but I do anyways. Go down, and yeah, you should get a checkpoint right before the lift now if you didn't go near that door, and I'll see you there. Now, the first time I do it, I won't talk over it at all. I'll just let you see it, and just like the assault on the control room Banshee grab trick, I'll slow it down and break it down for you.
Here, Chief. Jump in. There are 2 groups of Marines in this detention block. I'll zero their locations. You neutralize the guards. Quiet.
Fear not, my brothers. The sacred icon is secure.
The Marines are just...
Pretty cool, right? Well, that's pretty hard to pull off. First things first, you want to switch to default controls. It's pretty much impossible to do this with any other control scheme, I think. I tried it with Recon, did not work at all. The reason default controls work the best for this trick is because you want to melee, cancel the melee, and jump all simultaneously as fast as you can while you're below the brute. So using both of your thumbs to mash B, A, and X is the best solution I found. Now I'll try to represent what I do as best as possible. This is a kind of shoddy screenshot I took with my phone, my fingers on my controller. As you can see, I use my right hand thumb for the B and A buttons, and my left hand thumb for the X button, and I mash all 3 of those buttons simultaneously as fast as I possibly can when I'm in the perfect position, and I'll show you that in a second. I'll also link a video in the description if you want to go check that out, a hand cam video by Mr. Monopoly doing this trick, so you can check that out if you want. With that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so that might look a little intimidating at first, but it's not that bad once you get the hang of it. There's a little bit of RNG that takes place here, so don't get too mad if you continuously die. It's only natural. First of all, take out your brute shot, kill that jackal with 2 hits, and then immediately go down below here. Wait until the first brute starts to jump on the lift and head around the corner here, and then wait for the second brute to start throwing a plasma grenade. He won't always do that. That's the RNG part of this trick. So if he doesn't, just save quit, go back to the previous checkpoint. But once he does throw the grenade, you want to wait until he's just about finished as he's throwing the grenade, then move in on the position. Cortana will then tell you that you should jump in the lift, and 99% of the time, if you do that correctly, the brute will jump up on the lift. Right after he does that, you want to jump on the lift as well before it opens up, and try to center yourself in the middle by looking down here. Make sure you look down. If everything goes well, then the brute should be right above you and should be going down the lift. Now at this point, it's all down to how fast you can press those 3 buttons after you reach a certain point. I'll tell you exactly when you need to press them. This is very important. You want to wait until you pass 2 of these rings on the side of this tube going down. So 1 right there, and 2 right there, and then about halfway down on this 3rd tube, you want to start mashing the buttons as fast as you possibly can. You should hear Cortana say a couple things about, Marines trapped in the detention area. You know the area is loaded at that point, so that's good. And if you did it at the perfect time, you should go straight up. You gotta mash those buttons real fast though. In the speedrunning community, that's called a butterfly, and we just used it to avoid the hardest part of the game. So congratulations if you made it this far.
Inside.
It
Careful
was
with the guard.
Tartarus and his brutes who took the icon from the flood. For that they have our thanks.
Excellent. Truth is broadcasting on the move.
Now you want to kill 2 of your Marine buddies here that spawn after you complete the prison skip glitch in order to get double overshield so we can run past the next area. Now that I think about it, I probably should have used the brute shot to do this. Would have been a lot faster, but hey, whatever. So once you've acquired the double overshield, spawn these guys in here. Yeah, we still gotta fight the elites until Halo 3. They still hate us until then. But you don't need to sword these guys, by the way. Just jump to the right of them. And then we want to solid snake our way to the right of this area, hide behind this pillar here, let all those drones fly by. That's right, we're doing Metal Gear Halo 5 now, guys. But in all seriousness, it's really useful to stealth by that area, unless you want to kill every enemy there, which is, the only other option, really. Generally, you want to kill a brute here, or let them engage the elites in combat so you can sneak by this area as well. It's not too dangerous. And completely ignore these hunters. No reason to fight them. Shoot that jackal sniper in the head as fast as possible, because he's a jackal sniper, should know this by now. And then try to get on this hill as fast as possible on the side over here, because this area is full of Covenant that are ripping each other apart. And you can actually crouch jump up here and jump up on this ledge, go around, completely avoid all the enemies in this area.
Kill systems the Covenant are throwing down around me. Not to worry, it's pretty sloppy stuff. I guess they never expected a hostile intelligence to penetrate their network from the inside.
Another jackal sniper you need to shoot in the head. And that's really the best advice I can give for jackal snipers, is just be faster than them. Like, I don't know what else to say. That's really the key to beating jackal snipers, is preemptively know where their spawns are and start shooting like a madman. Try to stay to the utmost right of this structure when you're running along it, so the enemies down below can't shoot you as well. Drop down here and crouch so the 2 ranger elites don't spot you. Let them fly by. If one of them turns around, book it.
Rise, dark brothers, cast down the elites.
There are those who said this day would never come. What are they to say now?
Once the towers are cleared, we'll drive them from the lower districts.
So this room's kind of tricky, but the key is basically to be as aggressive as possible with your carbine. Try to start the battle with these 2 different factions here, the essentially the drones and the ranger elites. You want to hit the drones or the ranger elites, either one, until they start fighting each other. And once they start fighting each other, you're going to go to the right and jump on a crate, basically avoid this entire area. takes a little bit of time for me to start up the fight, but you'll see in a sec. Now that both of the elites and drones are fighting each other, you want to run to the right here, jump on this crate, and head straight for the door. Sometimes a rogue drone will spot you, but generally that seems to work consistently. I like to stick this guy with a plasma and then backsmack his friend. You can stick both of them if you want. Grab a new sword here if you need one, and jump on this crate and then do a crouch jump up on the ceiling level here.
I have listened to the order. I can confirm now peace. The great journey begins here.
The elites are falling back to the mausoleum. Fools! Their arbiter can do nothing for them now.
Who would doubt the prophets? What have we foretold that has not come?
For these three brutes, it's good to stay back near the door of this room because they can't really advance on you, and they can't shoot their brute shots from a certain distance, so it's good to stay back and shoot them in the head from long range with the carbine. Even though the carbine is pretty inaccurate, it'll just take a while. It seems like you're hitting them in the head a lot of the time when you're far away, but you're not because it's such a small hitbox. But eventually you'll get them. I mean, there's tons of carbine ammo here anyways, so might as well use it. Hit that jackal sniper with everything you got, and then jump on this crate and crouch jump up on the side of this hill over here. Jump down here and do another crouch jump up here. Kind of failed a little bit. Once you crouch jump up here, hide, wait for the enemies to pass, and then move on. And assassinate the assassin elite in here. He almost spotted me. Just a little bit too slow though. And then there's a bunch of free shields walking around here. Beat all these grunts to death. They won't actually attack you at all. They're running away horrified. I have no idea how they joined the Special Ops Corps if they're so horrified of me just entering the room, but alright. Or whatever the hell else they saw. Must have saw some real bad shit. This is where you can really start using the cover to your advantage by pushing it up, getting closer to the enemy. There's a lot of crates in this last area. This guy, I thought he was about to pull out a sword or something, but no, he's just getting really mad at me. So, just kind of brawling it out with him. Eventually he goes down there. So once he dies, I'm going to grab that fuel rod cannon there. Switch it out for your sword because we're going to get a new sword at the end of the level from an ultra, so we don't have to worry about that. So try to backsmack both the Spec Ops elites in this room, and get the Brute and the 2 Jackals to spawn. Another Jackal sniper on the right side of this door. I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be like 2 or 3 brutes that spawn here as well, but if you're fast enough, I believe they don't spawn, so that's nice. Lets us focus on the main issue, which is these 3 Spec Ops elites down here. Try to stick that turret so it's not blasting us from afar, and you can actually knock these guys off fairly easily with sticky grenades. And I believe, yeah, there I pushed a guy off with a sticky, and I believe one of the guys actually kills himself due to the buggy physics. Sometimes when the elites hide behind boxes, they actually somehow slowly kill themselves, so I guess I'm pretty sure that's what happened there. Run about halfway across this bridge, activate the drone trigger point. This should spawn 3 or 4 drones behind you, so I always run back, grab that Jackal sniper rifle up here, and push my carbine into this room so it's easy to retrieve. And you know, just whittle away at these drones over here with either the... I would actually say to save the sniper rifle ammo, because we're going to need it for the hunters, unless you managed to find and not knock off the double beam rifle Covenant ammo crate, which is supposed to spawn around here somewhere, but I'm pretty sure I knocked it off, so I'm trying to conserve sniper ammo right now. So I tried to move up and avoid that last drone, but unfortunately he wasn't having me run by him, so had to take him out. Used some of my beam rifle battery, but it's not that big of a deal. Pretty sure I had just enough to deal with the hunters. Alright, hunters. Is this the first time we're fighting hunters legitimately in LASO? Man, I hope so. That'd be great. But anyways, you want to stick these guys with plasma grenades, and when they turn around and get stunned, shoot them in the back with a beam rifle. It'll take about 3 or 4 shots. Probably about 3 shots, I think. Yeah, seems like it. It's really useful to get this to get objects in their way, like this this power pole thingy. Sounded oddly sexual, power pole. Well, you want to get stuff like that in their way because they're really bad at pathing and they can't just, walk over or jump over stuff, so you can use that to your advantage. Jesus, he's fucking pissed. At this point, I'm pretty sure I'm like, if I don't leave now, I'm gonna get my ass pulverized into the ground, so, yeah, I just ran away, and he started running away as well for some reason. I guess he was going to mourn his brother that died or whatever, so I just shot him in the back. Shouldn't have turned around, bitch. Hey, what? Don't look at me like that. You know Master Chief has no honor. Come on. There's tons of weapons and ammo in this room, so stock up while you can. I would suggest to get the carbine and the fuel rod cannon for the next room. Alright, well, to be honest, guys, I didn't think we were going to make it this far, but here we are, last room in Gravemind. It's almost surreal. First thing you want to do is take out these Ultra Elites on this side. Make sure one pulls out a sword so you have that for the final strat. As for the center of the room, generally you want to let the hunters distract the brutes, because they're the main issue. I like to take out the brutes and try to avoid killing the hunters, because there's a second wave of brutes that are going to spawn after you kill this one, so you want to make those hunters last as long as possible. This is the only time I'm going to ask you to do a sword trick. When you get close enough to them, press the jump button, lunge at them with the sword, cancel that with the reload, and press the A button again. Do that button combo extremely fast, and you should do a sword cancel right over their head, straight to the end of the mission. And that's it for Gravemind, guys. I hope it helped you, and I'll see you in Uprising.